What's happening, Achievers? Ajit Sidhu here from Invincible Achievers. Now, how you do anything is how you do everything. How do we consistently do this every day? The only way we are able to do this is if we have a set of rules, set of standards that we live by. We must know exactly what we want, the outcome that we want, and then set benchmark rules, create a culture for yourself. Because if you are trying to start a business, for instance, the culture is only going to be as good as you are. So you must start with yourself. The culture begins with you. So once we actually know the set of standards that we want to live by, the set of rules that we want everyone to live by or yourself to live by, then do not break the rules. We do not want to break those rules. Those are there for us. We can review them to see if we're actually achieving what we want to get. However, if you've actually gone through this process of creating a set of standards, the rules of how you want to do something, then you must do it consistently every single day, because how you do anything is how you do everything. Because as you start getting bigger, as you start achieving your goals, as you start doing much more, those benchmarks that you've created will start being raised slowly. And it's a term that's in Japanese called Kaizen, which is constant and never-ending improvement. You're constantly and never-endingly improving and innovating how you do something. But you can't ever do that if you don't know where you started from. So the only way you can raise your standards and use Kaizen or constant and never-ending improvement is by setting a benchmark. That benchmark, the set of rules that we live by, is a culture. That culture is created. Similar to when you go to a different country. When you go to a different country, every single country lives by a certain culture. That's where culture is created. They live by a set of rules, because the environment creates that, and anyone that deviates from that either gets in trouble or the culture starts breaking. Same thing in business. If a business is about love, care, compassion, moving forward, improving constantly, that is the benchmark. Now, the benchmark is not what we're aiming for. We're always aiming for above. The benchmark is for newbies, or on the day when you feel tired, unmotivated, don't feel like going to work. Everyone feels that. Now, that set of rules is what gets you to that point where you get the job done. That's the same thing with inside a business, a culture that you create, a culture of helping each other, a culture of family ethos, a culture of accountability. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. If you don't do it, you're accountable. And what the consequences are, you must be able to take it like a person, a courageous person. A culture of an army. Can you imagine an army that has a culture of cowardness? It can't exist. The culture that is created within an army is of courageousness, of moving forward, being focused, set of rules, pushing, raising your standard constantly. That's exactly the same thing that we want to live by. That's the same thing that you want to do within your environment. But also, if you've got a business, then you want to do it in your business as well. Same thing is true when you, say you go to a martial art club. You're in a martial art club, every single martial artist there is just dabbling. Do you think you're going to become an exceptional athlete? But what if you join a club where there's a UFC fighters that actually fight within the ring, the octagon? Do you think your standard has to be so much high, and if it's not, you will die? Then you have to live by that standard. We have to raise our standard constantly, and we should never ever settle. It only takes one person in our environment, one person in our business, one person, one idea, one negative idea to start destroying the culture. One bad apple will destroy the basket. So keep self-reflecting, analyzing. We must do this. This is this constant and never-ending improvement for ourselves. But also we need to be aware. Whenever someone new comes in, we need to induct them, make sure that they're part of the culture. If there's a new person in our environment, we need to let them know the standards that we live by. And that way, if they want to be with us and continue moving forward, then they can. If they don't and they want to pull us back, then hack them off and let them move away. That's it. That's all I've got, guys. So remember, raise your standards, have a benchmark, but keep raising your standards. Kaizen, constant never-ending improvement on ourselves, self-reflection, and build a culture that you're constantly improving. And it's a culture that you love. So guys, keep spreading the love, keep adding value, and just remember, we are one idea away from changing the future. Take care. Bye.